there was some Jehovah's Witness news I wanted to take a look at here. This is from The Independent. This just broke just the other day. And I think Mr. Atheist talked about this on his YouTube channel not long ago. Judge orders doctors to give Jehovah's Witness girl blood transfusion against her parents' wishes. A high court judge has ruled a 5-year-old girl from a family of Jehovah's Witnesses can be given a blood transfusion against her parents' wishes. Mr. Justice Hayden made the decision after hospital bosses said the child could die or suffer a stroke if she's not treated urgently. The girl's parents said their religious beliefs would not allow them to consent to a transfusion, but did not object to the judge making the order. Leeds Teaching Hospitals NHS Trust, which has responsibility for the girl's care, made the application in the Family Division of the High Court in London on Wednesday. A specialist told Mr. Justice Hayden the child was suffering from sickle cell disease, an inherited blood disorder, and her condition had deteriorated. He said he feared a life-threatening event if the girl was not given a blood transfusion soon. The girl's father broke down as he told the judge that he wanted his daughter to live but could not agree to a transfusion. After analyzing evidence at a public hearing, Mr. Justice Hayden said the law allowed judges to make such rulings. The girl, who cannot be identified, is being treated at Leeds Children's Hospital. Jehovah's Witnesses say the Old and New Testaments of the Bible clearly command us to abstain from blood. God views blood as representing life, the religion's website says, so we avoid taking blood not only in obedience to God, but also out of respect for Him as the giver of life. Earlier, at a separate hearing in the Family Division, another judge approved an agreement between hospital bosses and a teenage Jehovah's Witness who refused to be treated with blood products or given a blood transfusion. Mr. Justice Moore had been due to oversee a trial after hospital bosses asked him to decide what would be in the boy's best interests. But he was told doctors had taken the view that the boy should not be treated with blood products against his wishes and were trying a different approach. The court heard the teenager was born abroad and lived in England with a relative for some time. His father is dead and his mother's whereabouts are unknown. Mr. Justice Moore, who approved the agreement at a private hearing, said neither the boy nor the NHS Hospital Trust involved could be identified in media reports. That case echoes the plot of Ian McEwan's 2014 novel The Children Act, which was made into a film starring Emma Thompson. In the novel, a judge decides a 17-year-old Jehovah's Witness should have a blood transfusion against his wishes to save his life. Okay, like I said, Mr. Atheist actually covered this on his channel the other day, and the problem that I have with this whole thing is the fact that sometimes it's too late. By the time you get, sometimes these situations are urgent, these blood transfusion things. Sometimes they're urgent. Sometimes it has to be done now, immediately, or they're going to die, or suffer brain injuries or something. We don't have time to go talk to a judge about this, sometimes. That's my biggest qualm with this. I feel like, see, there's this thing called the Hospital Liaison Committee. And it's this group of Jehovah's Witnesses who go around to hospitals talking to doctors about what treatments are and are not allowed for the Jehovah's Witness patients. And they'll usually appear when a Jehovah's Witness enters the hospital. The liaison committee will. They'll appear and talk to the person's doctor. And if the person doesn't go with the treatment that the liaison committee approves of, then they'll be disfellowshipped. If they don't allow access to certain things, they'll be disfellowshipped. I mean, shunned from friends and family for the rest of their lives until the day they die. Never talk to your mother again. Never talk to your father or your brothers or sisters or aunts or uncles again until the day you die. If you don't abide by the wishes of this group of elders that appear in your hospital room and die. If it don't get the procedure that would save your life. I really wish that they had judges there on staff at hospitals sometimes that would be able to push orders through immediately for this kind of thing, first of all. And second, I wish that they would disallow elders in like this and disallow the information from being given to the liaison committee about certain people's cases so that they couldn't have a stranglehold, so that Jehovah's Witnesses would be freer, at least a little freer, to make their own decisions, even though, as we can see, they'd probably land on the wrong side of the decision anyways. So it's kind of an ugly situation. It's very disturbing. And we have honestly no way of counting how many people have lost their lives to this. Thousands. Tens of thousands, maybe. Who knows? There's no way of knowing. They don't keep track of it. but it's a high number. It's at least thousands, we know, because Jehovah's Witnesses used to brag about it in a lot of their old watchtowers. They would have lists of people who died because they didn't take blood transfusions.